Donald Trump leads the aggregate by 2.6 percentage points going into today's debate, while the maps for 538 and RCP's polling averages have the race as a dead heat. But today we're going to be talking about why Donald Trump leads the popular vote by almost 7 percentage points and how today's debate could affect the Electoral College map. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video with On Point Politics, and today we're going to be looking at the presidential map and seeing where everything stands before tonight's debate from CNN at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this. And so we see that the former president is leading the aggregate by almost 3 points. I do project that Donald Trump is going to overperform polling data once again. There is a more extensive analysis coming as to why this is going to be the case and other indicators that show Donald Trump leading the popular vote by 6.8 percentage points. But that is the popular vote margin we are going to be using for today's forecast. And so essentially we see the red states being the states that Donald Trump previously won by over 15 percentage points. As of right now, those are all of the states that I am currently filling out in a safe red as of right now, which brings Donald Trump to 107 electoral college votes. States that were likely states that are moving into the safe column this time are Alaska, Kansas, South Carolina, as well as Maine's 2nd congressional district, as well as the state of Iowa, which is a 17.9 percentage point victory for the former president. What's quite interesting about this is that the most accurate pollster and Seltzer in the state of Iowa actually has the state as an 18-point lead for the former president in 2020. They predicted a Trump plus 7 popular vote win in the state of Iowa. So that is actually pretty interesting to see that the polling data from pretty accurate pollsters is aligning with our forecast. We also see from the state of Ohio that is going to be an 18.5 percentage point victory for Donald Trump. We also see in the state of Florida a 16.2 percentage point win, and we see in the state of Texas, as of right now, he's winning that by 18.4 percentage points, putting him at 219 safe electoral college votes. As for the safe Biden states, we have Biden at just 15 points in the state of California. We have DC at 69 points for Joe Biden. Nice. And then we have the states of Maryland at 18 points for Biden, and the state of Massachusetts at 22 points for Biden, and the state of Vermont at just a mere 25 points for the incumbent president, just putting him at 81 safe electoral college votes as of right now. For the likely Republican states, we have the states of Wisconsin at 9.1% for Donald Trump. We have the state of Michigan at 8.5% for Donald Trump. And we have the state of Pennsylvania at 9.4%. It's pretty interesting because Pennsylvania is actually the most Republican Rust Belt state out of the traditional three. This is explained due to Donald Trump gaining with African Americans way more than he does with the white vote. And Wisconsin has a greater white population in it than a state like Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a more concentrated African American population in the Philadelphia city and suburbs. So that would explain why Pennsylvania is shifting just a little bit to the right of Wisconsin as of right now. We see the state of Nevada at 11 points for Donald Trump. That could be explained by Hispanic trends nationwide. We see the state of Arizona at 9.6 percentage points for Donald Trump. And we see the state of Georgia at 12.4 percentage points for Donald Trump in this projection. North Carolina is exactly a 13-point victory in this latest projection. And we see the state of Hawaii as of right now at just below 15 points. Is actually 14.9% for Joe Biden. We are now moving into the likely states. Washington at 8.2%, Oregon at 5.9%. As of right now, the state of Illinois at exactly 5 percentage points for Joe Biden. We see Maine's 1st congressional district as of right now be just a 9.7 percentage point win for Joe Biden. We see New York at just 8.1 percentage points for the incumbent president. Connecticut at 8.2 percentage points. Delaware at 6.4 percentage points. And the state of Rhode Island at just 9.4%, bringing Joe Biden to 167 electoral college votes to Donald Trump's 312 electoral college votes. We also forgot to add Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, which actually puts Nebraska 2nd at a 5.6 percentage point victory as of right now, just leaving a couple of states up for grabs this cycle. we see in the state of New Mexico, Donald Trump wins that by 1.9 percentage points, New Hampshire by 2.3 percentage points, Virginia by 1.9. And we also see the state of Minnesota as a 3.3 percentage point victory for Donald Trump, and the state of Maine at large at just 1.4 percentage points for Donald Trump. Colorado will be a 3.5 point victory for Joe Biden, and the state of New Jersey at just 2.9 percentage points for the former president as of right, or the incumbent president as of right now, giving Donald Trump 347 electoral college votes to Biden's 191 as of right now. Now, essentially, what actually ends up happening is all these states you basically see that are in lean margins, basically below 5 points, are basically in contention for the debate. So starting at the debate, Biden starts with 167 electoral college votes. Trump kind of starts at 313. So the good thing about the debate is that the former president is effectively on offense, essentially. He's starting out with the traditional swing states. Even if there's a huge margin of error, we still expect the former president to end up winning these states regardless. And so he can kind of go out there and actually make plays in all of these other crucial states. As of right now, that's the important part to note. All of these states, I'm going to be filling all these out. All the ones that are safe Democrat are essentially states Donald Trump should not worry about contesting, as we do not see him having a statistical chance in any of these states. The states that are in the likely column, or pretty much in the safe column, to be honest, I'm going to be putting them right here. Donald Trump already starts out with those electoral college votes. Pretty much all the states that you see in blank are going to be left up for Joe Biden and Donald Trump. We could put the Rust Belt in a leaning category, including not even Arizona and Nevada, essentially, because a lot of the polling has it outside the margin of error. Nebraska second, we could put it lean for Donald Trump. Now, for New York, I'd say that would be in the lean column. Doesn't necessarily mean it's below 5 points, but at least in a debate battleground, that could now actually be in that column, including Maine's first. That would also include Illinois. That would include Oregon. So this is effectively a battleground map for the debate, and all the states that are in tilt are states essentially that Donald Trump or Joe Biden could pick up. And so what I think is going to happen essentially is that I think Biden and Trump are going to both gain points from the debate unless a major gaffe on either side happens or Trump kind of has a Reagan-esque moment. As of right now, I really don't think Biden would be able to pull that off. So we're essentially starting off with this electoral college map with Donald Trump winning most of the states in the tilt category. If Donald Trump actually gains from the debate, he could potentially make states like Colorado and New Jersey competitive, bringing him to an astounding 371 electoral college votes. Now, if Biden net gains from the debate, presumably if Trump makes a little bit of a gaffe, we could see him flip states like Virginia back into his column, states like Maine at large back into his column. We could see that potentially happening, even to an extent a state like New Mexico. That would essentially could happen, and maybe even states like Minnesota and New Hampshire. But as of right now, I actually think that these states probably go for Donald Trump either way. Maybe New Hampshire would flip back, but I think Minnesota, even in a head-to-head matchup, Donald Trump actually still wins according to my forecast. And so I think Donald Trump, even if worst case scenario happens, I think Minnesota probably goes in the Republican column, to be honest. And so all of these states left up in grabs, left up in blank, essentially are the states that either candidate can kind of expand their lead or kind of lose their lead, and depending on how the debate goes. But we see Donald Trump starts off with the Rust Belt already in his column. We already expect him to get 313 electoral college votes. So he's going out there in the offense, and that was like on before, where Biden essentially started out with the Rust Belt going into the presidential debates, according to my analysis, and he was the one on offense. Trump was kind of the one on defense. Now Trump, it's the opposite. Now Trump is on the offense and Biden is the one on defense. And if we look at all the issues, we're going to see something really bad for Biden. Biden's going into the debate tomorrow with a 40% approval rating, by the way. So that is already a bad sign within itself. The economy, Joe Biden's down 16 points. He's down 22 points on foreign policy. On inflation, he's down 24. On crime, he's down 15. on immigration, he's down 26, which is the most important issue. Israel Hamas, he's actually down on this by 30 points. He's actually down on this issue the most out of any issue, which is very interesting. And if you look at direction of the country, this is going to take a second to load because it goes all the way back quite a while. I think it goes back to like 2008 actually. So it does have a very long span of collected data, but essentially right now it is minus 40. It is not looking great for the former president at all. We basically see it's consistently been in the 40s. We even saw at a point in 2022 it was a little bit higher, but this is still bad for an incumbent president regardless. Donald Trump didn't even have the margins similar to that. Donald Trump's, wrong direction track margins were a lot less than what Biden has. Even Trump's worst performance, minus 45, was nearly not as bad as Biden's peak at minus 56. And so Donald Trump has not had a worse approval rating on the country direction than Joe Biden has at all. Even at minus 50, it wasn't even that bad. And right now, Joe Biden's sitting at numbers very similar to what Trump was sitting at in the summer of 2020 and in the beginning of 2021. So that's a bad sign going into the debate like that. And he's going in with only 25% of voters thinking that the country's in the right direction. That is not a good look for the incumbent president whatsoever. Congress job approval, right now I expect it to be pretty low as of right now. And so just looking at everything, looking at even the demographic spreadsheets, this is also a very weak point for Biden. If you look at the new New York Times / Siena College poll, they have their 2024 sample. They asked their voters how they voted last time. Then we compare that to the exit margin polls from 2020. We find the adjusted error between the exit polls and the sample, and we apply that to the 2024 poll, and we get our adjusted demographics. And when we have the 4 electoral college maps breaking down each category, we get margins like plus 12 in Arizona for Trump. We get a tilt margin in Colorado for Biden. We get plus 16 in Florida for Donald Trump, 14 points in Georgia. Illinois is below 5. Maine's first is even below 5. Michigan at just 9 points for Trump. We have Nevada at 9.8, North Carolina at 14 points, Pennsylvania at 10.8, Wisconsin at 10.7, Virginia at 3.3 percentage points, Texas at 19 points, as well as Ohio, and even to an extent Iowa as well is at around 19 points for Trump, which is kind of similar to that Seltzer report. It has Trump up 18, this has him up 19, so that's also very interesting to note as well. DC at 69 points, nice. California at 16 points, Hawaii at 19, and we see Maryland and Massachusetts at 21 points as well, and Vermont at just 24 points. So we see that Donald Trump is improving in a lot of these swing states. Every single data point is looking extremely bad for him as of right now. We're putting together our official forecast. We obviously have the margins at 347 to 191, but we're putting together our exact margins coming very, very soon. We will be updating the website with tooltips you'll be able to view on the website as a whole. But right now, the former president is essentially on the offense right now. Biden has to kind of defend his home turf of states. Even states like New York, Illinois, and Oregon are kind of in jeopardy for him, going into the debate as of right now. And so right now, Donald Trump leads with 347 electoral college votes, unlike what most media pundits and talking heads actually think the electoral college result would be as of right now. And the problem is, if Biden gaffes, states like Colorado and New Jersey could actually flip. Even states like New York and Oregon could even be in contention if that were to happen. If Donald Trump says something really dumb during debate that kind of backstabs his base, we could see something very similar to 2016, where Donald Trump essentially gets 313 electoral college votes, maybe possibly even loses a state like Arizona and Nebraska second. That would be my guess. But as of right now, that is very unlikely to happen. And right now, our forecast has Donald Trump winning 347 electoral college votes to Biden's 191 electoral college votes. We actually also see that Donald Trump supposedly might reveal his VP pick before he even gets on stage, according to NBC News. So that's going to be really interesting. We're going to be paying attention for that. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you like more content just like this. And I will see you guys for tonight's stream.